Good afternoon and welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm joined this afternoon by Alice Moss, the Executive Director for Beaufort Memorial Hospital Foundation. Alice, thank you so much for coming and talking with us today. Tell us about the hospital's foundation. I'm sure everybody here is familiar with the hospital and the care that it provides, but probably don't know a lot about the foundation and what it actually does to support this community.
Thanks, Karen. I'm happy to do that. Because Beaufort Memorial is the only not-for-profit hospital between Savannah and Charleston,
that's right.
Our mission is very unique and requires a lot of resources in order to assure that there's access to care for everyone regardless of ability to pay. One of the ways we've been able to do that and to provide such excellent service along the way is because we do have a very generous community. The foundation is a separate corporation.
Separate entity, right?
Yes, but our entire mission is to support Beaufort Memorial Hospital. So we become the link between the community and the hospital. All the philanthropic, charitable dollars that come from the community are under the oversight of our foundation board, and then we work closely with the hospital to make sure that the dollars are used as the hospital needs them, but also as the donors direct.
So you've probably touched on some things that the general public didn't know, that those people who are in need and maybe still don't have health insurance or are underinsured, people giving to the foundation are really, in a sense, giving back to members of their own community who, in many cases, might not seek medical care because of their financial situation.
That's right.
Most people are aware that you do a big event every year. You've just had your Valentine Ball, and obviously is one of the biggest events here in Beaufort as a way to give back. But there's some other events that go on. One of them is coming up at the end of March. So let's talk a little bit about the Duke Symphony Orchestra and your partnership with them and how that benefits the foundation as well.
Okay, this is a fundraiser that was serendipitous the way it came to us. I had a chance meeting.
Life is like that sometimes.
Yes, it is, with the conductor of the Duke Symphony 12, 13 years ago. And that was just at the time that we were building our cancer center under an affiliation with Duke. And we were naming it for Dr. Kaiserling, and of course Dr. Kaiserling's wife, Harriet Kaiserling, was a leader in the state in bringing the arts,
here
especially to Beaufort and to small towns throughout the state. And he and I just started talking and had this vision about how wonderful it would be to celebrate the opening of it with the Duke Symphony coming and appearing here. And he thought it was a dream. I said, oh, we can make this more than a dream, and we did, and they came, and it was just the most special weekend, and we've raised well over $100,000 in the years they've been coming. And those funds have gone to the Healing Arts program, first at the Kaiserling Cancer Center, and now also to help bring our Healing Arts program throughout the hospital.
So we know where the funds go if you choose to participate and buy a ticket and see the Duke down at the Center for the Arts at USCB campus, right? But tell us what you mean about the Healing Arts. That may be a term that a lot of people aren't familiar with.
Right. Well, I think everyone's been to an art exhibit or an art museum, or you've been driving along in your car and just burst out singing, or you're at a concert and you want to sing along. We all know the joy that the arts bring us. They help us escape, they help relieve the stress, and that is especially helpful in a hospital setting, because let's face it, there are not many places more stressful than being sick, being in a hospital.
Yep.
And through our Healing Arts program, we've been able to work with, starting out with the Cancer Center, where we were starting from scratch, to think about the design elements throughout that building to make them as soothing and as restful and calming for our patients and their family members as we could, and we're able to do some special, like we have a water feature, a beautiful water wall in the
very tranquil,
lobby.
probably.
Very, and just everyone just was especially complimentary when we opened that, and just said it just doesn't feel like a medical facility. So we've been able to take a lot of the elements as we go into new areas, build new offices, or just go back and renovate.
And I do spend a lot of my time with my own work in the hospital and have been in the new facility, and I can see that. You feel that the calming, beautiful colors, soothing palettes, water features, as you mentioned. And when you walk into a place like that, it gives you a sense of hope and takes, I guess, alleviates some of the tension when you're either a person who's getting treatment or someone who's caring for somebody who's under treatment. What can you expect if you buy a ticket to the Duke performance? Like, I haven't been, so you've piqued my own curiosity.
Okay.
What could one expect? And I know that there's a little tidbit here about the USCB chorus. Do they also perform with the Duke Symphony Orchestra?
Yes. If you buy a ticket, you will come and you will just hear some exquisite orchestral music. The orchestra typically brings 60 to 70 members.
Wow.
So the stage is completely full of instruments, and their repertoire is based on the classics. So you don't worry about those newfangled discordant things. It's soothing, but it's very classical, very sophisticated. But the conductor, Harry Davidson, is very personable. He helps explain and give context. So you learn a little bit, you enjoy the music, and then we have a special collaboration where the orchestra provides backup to the USCB University Chorus. I love choral music, and I think it's very special, very rich, all the harmonies, and we rarely get to have those two, just the fullness of a symphony orchestra and a choral ensemble performing together, and it's such a treat for all the musicians, the singers, the
to collaborate together.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, a treat for anybody in Beaufort who's never had the opportunity to experience a large-scale orchestral production, or if you have children who may be very interested in music, an opportunity to see that if they go on or explore that interest, this is a possibility for them. So lots of wonderful things coming together between the foundation, the arts, the Kaiserling Cancer Center. So I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing this particular opportunity about what happens here in Beaufort, north of the Broad, and hope that we get a chance to talk to you at some point again.
Oh, we have lots to talk about.
Great.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thanks, Alice.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us and watching. We'll be right back with the next segment of North of the Broad.